I'm Mike Cornelison. Cornelison Farms Inc. is a cash crop company. Our operation started in 1953 with my Opa. It's part of the home block, the original farm. My dad's been no-till since, I think, 1987, no-till corn. Our soil is everything from low sand to the heaviest clay you can have. So it's a very variable soils. Yeah, and I farm with my dad, my brother, and on the cash crop side, my mom's also very involved with the operation, and my wife is involved on the greenhouse company.
So George, we're here to talk a little bit about strip tillage, and just curious how you guys got to where you are today. You know, maybe some of the history and tillage you guys had up before you got to your strip tillage.
Okay, we started in no-till back in '87, but we had a really challenge making it work in wheat stubble with cover crops. So we started in strip-till in the early '90s, and we started through that with Omathra through Peter Johnson, Greg Stewart.
So Mike, why does strip-till matter to you guys on your operation, and why do you think farmers should take the time to learn about it for their own?
Yeah, so every decision on our farm really does come down to economics. Soil health is an important part, but at the end of the day, that comes back to economics. Our yields are getting up there, and we really feel like that's because of soil health. So that comes back to economics. So like no-till is still the cheapest way of doing it. That's why we still do it on our bean stubble. But we were not getting the same luck on our wheat stubble. We were out of 5 years, we'd have 2 crop failures. That was mostly slug damage, and it just was. We had to plant that corn so late on our wheat stubble. Just to get it dried out enough. So that's really why we went to strip-till. Well, I know a lot of guys going to strip-till are going from conventional to strip-till. We actually went back the other way. We went from no-till to strip-till. And I think strip-till is just that perfect mixture where you're getting that benefit of the conventional, getting there out nice and earlier, have a nice little work spot, getting the fertilizer in a good placement, not getting it all on the surface with the no-till situation. And you're getting the health benefits of no-till, and also the efficiencies of strip-till. Like a lot of people talk about the expensiveness of strip-till equipment, but if you had to buy a full lineup of conventional equipment, it would be no different or more money. I know it seems expensive to get in that system because it depends on equipment. You got it's an expensive piece of equipment, but if you had to buy all the other equipment, it would be the same difference.
So next one, and your answer might be a bit different given that you're coming from the no-till side of things, not the conventional till side of things, but just curious, so given experiences on your farm, how do you think strip-till would affect the province's soils, the province in general, and how do you think it contributes towards, more sustainable crop production in Ontario?
Yeah, so strip-till definitely going to give you that better soil health if you're compared to conventional, and I don't think you're hurting it much if you're comparing it to no-till. It's such a small area working. I know with our strip-tills, we grow cover crops, and we try strip-till nice and early. So times the cover crops either terminated or frost killed, those roots are nicely in the strips, and it's nice and held in place. Gives you lots of options for fertilizer placements for better fertilizer management. And if you're pulling a cart, it allows you to get this variable rate technology on fertilizer, which I think is a very important thing, both for economics and really sustainability and environmentally. Like on every single of our fields, if we looked at P&K levels, they were dead on when you look at the targets they want you at. But you have areas in your farm that are just way low, and you got areas in the farm that are way high. We have a farm that, for example, that had a dairy barn on it, and we had an outdoor pasture. We could still tell today, and the dairy hasn't been there since '93. We could still tell where the trees were because that's where the cattle gathered in the soil samples that were just taken last year. And those spots of fertilizer, we don't need to put anything by for 10 years yet. And so that's, I think it's, as a system approach, strip-till can really be, it's a very viable operation when it comes to fertilizer, soil health, management. People are now talking about compaction, right? You got that more firm soil in between, and we definitely see that too with our equipment. We had farms where we strip-tilled half, and we actually plowed the back half. This was for custom work, and we did it the other way. And the combine was not even leaving a lug mark to running a foot. And that was only 1 year strip-till. So tell you how quick that strip-till helps the soil to hold your equipment better. It does take time to learn it. And we're over 10 years now doing it, right? And we still making adjustments every year, but that's, I think anything in farming, you should be making adjustments every year. There's new technologies and new systems every year. So it's no different that way. So that's my true feeling on Strip-Till. It's a system that I think can work on a broad spectrum of soils. Change is hard because it can be expensive, but at the end of the day, if it's going to make you more money down the road, it's an easy decision. You can make good decisions when you have good data, and I think you get more comfortable with change if you know it's going to work in the end, right? And I think sometimes people get a little cautious because like, oh, we tried something and it didn't work. Well, try something again. Don't go all out on it. Like, take your time on making these small steps. Basically, the only thing we do in the spring is spray and plant. The only thing we do in the fall is combine and strip-till. It's a very simple operation. We try to keep it that way. And every year we're trying to make it more efficient. Takes time to build your system. And first you're trying to make your strip-till work. Now we're trying to make it efficient.